Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades, and I am back, and I have been missing for a bit because life has been lifing and work has been working, but I am back to fill your days with a little bit of Married at First Sight. We're on to the new series 8, and that's what we're going to be talking about now. So before I get into it, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know when I am on and doing videos. And let's get into this episode, shall we, which is episode 1. So we know that when it all comes back, we know the concept. Couples don't meet until the wedding day. You got the hen do's, you got the stag do's, so all the men and the women are meeting each other for the first time and having their little chats and stuff like that. But this one, I would have to say, I'm happy to see that Mass is becoming a little bit inclusive. Yes, I understand that they do have like gay men getting married on the show and everything like that, but now this time around we have a young lady called Jay who's got a disability, and then we also have a young lady called Ella who is trans. So yes, I am happy to see this, but we shall see how it all plays out. The only thing I am going to ask though is Laura okay? Like seriously, does someone need to send out some signals to this woman, because I don't know if she's getting the concept of the show in terms of she has high standards. Like, this girl is high maintenance. When we talk about high maintenance, this girl is high maintenance. She's a champagne and flowers type girl, yeah? So she has a person in mind, which is a Chelsea boy. Now, they always say the people that you normally go for hasn't been working out for you, so they're always going to look at something different, and this is what they were doing for Laura in terms of looking something different. But my thing is like, she was a bit snooty, and yes, we'll get onto Thomas. Thomas talks very, very posh. Thomas talks eloquently. He actually talks the Queen's English, like he had elocution lessons or something like that, but he speaks the Queen's English, does Thomas. But the difference between Thomas and Laura is Laura's a bit of a snob. That's what I'm going to say. At the beginning, that's how I was feeling, that Laura is a bit of a snob. I can say from the back, first look, the ones that I already like is Jay. Like, she's a northern bird. I like her. She's just down to earth. She's funny as fuck. I really like Jay. And I like Ella as well. This is first look. And even carrying on into the episodes when we talk about it, I like Ella as well. I do like Ella. I'm wondering, out of all the other girls who I like, I haven't really seen them that much. I'm just talking about the ones that are getting married now. So I have to say, I definitely like Jay and I do like Ella so far. Laura's rubbing me the wrong way. That's all I can say. Laura is rubbing me the wrong way royally. So as we see, the guys are meeting each other as well. And then we know that there's a guy there called Nathaniel, and he is from the LGBTQIA community as well. And he comes out, as he says, that he's pansexual. So basically he's open to anything. It's where he's drawn to. He's open to anything. He doesn't set one side or a different side. And as he was explaining to the guys, that he's been with men and he's been with women, so it doesn't really faze him. So my eyes straight away clocked, I bet you they got him for Ella. That's the only thing I can think of. I bet you they got him for Ella at the end of the day. So you see the girls having their talks and stuff like that, and Ella gets upset in regards to talking when people are talking about their families. And I think she gets upset because her family is very, very supportive. At the end of the day, you see this through the episodes, her family is very, very, very supportive of her, and her family was quite supportive of her in terms of her transition, but it was very, very hard on them at the same time, because they had to get to a point of accepting that, okay, this is who our son is at the end of the day, and get on board with that with her, which they have. So many trans people don't have that at the end of the day. Many people from the trans community do not have that unguided support that she does, and I think that's what got her upset at that point. And then as they continue to talk, Ella did explain to the girls that there's something that she would put forward and explain to the group as time comes on, but she's going to be talking to her husband about that first, which I think is around her being trans. So the girls they say they don't know, but we don't know how much they do in production and how much they probably canvass people and say, well, would you be accepting of X, Y, and Z? So I'm not too sure how much her husband to be doesn't know in that sense. So then it pans to the experts, and we know the experts are Paul, Mel, and Charlene. And all I will say is the experts is that they can match you based on like your morals, your background, and everything else that matches up right with you in terms of attitude and how you navigate within a relationship. They can match you, but then the rest is up to the couple to make that work. They can't make that work for you. All they can do is match you at the end of the day. So when people keep on saying, oh, I hope the experts get it right, at the end of the day, it's yous that have got to put the motherfucking work in. Do you know what I mean? It's them that's got to put the work into that marriage. Otherwise, what are you on the show for? Are you just on the show just to get notoriety, just to get people to look at you and know your name and who you are? Because I swear, from other maths that we've watched, we already know that does not go over well and does not go down too well with people on the outside looking in at the end of the day. So basically, they're talking about Jay and they're talking about Luke as well, because those will be the first two couples getting married, Luke and Jay. So with Jay, she is a very insecure, especially when it comes to her arm, because she lost her arm at birth. Now, she's got a sister called Katie who has no chill, man. Her face, all I will say is her face has no chill. She shows what she's thinking across her face. She cannot stop the RBF that is going on when it comes to her sister, because she is her sister's protector at the end of the day, and she will ask the questions that need to be asked, because as she said, she's been there when they've been in clubs and geezers have gone over to the sister, gone over to Jay to literally start talking to her, and when she's turned around and they've realised she hasn't got an arm, they've gone, oh, you've not got an arm, and then merrily trot off. Now, those people, she should be happy, have showing themselves out the door, because they are not worth her time. Because actually, at the end of the day, Jay is a lovely person. And to be fair, I really didn't even notice Jay's disability. All I saw was her tattoos. So then they're talking about Luke, and he's one of 8 children. I was like, bloody hell. He's one of 8 children, and he was with someone previously for 8 years. And then they just basically decided that they no longer wanted to be with him. So he then kind of lost everything that they built up for those 8 years. He lost everything, so it took him back a bit. So he has his own hang-ups and his own insecurities, but he just wants to find someone who will love him for him, someone that will make him laugh and then laugh at his jokes, someone that's kind of a female version of him, basically. And that's who Jay is. I have to say the experts got it right with these two, because that's who Jay is at the end of the day. But imagine being with someone for 8 years, and then deciding that's it. Like, people do that, like deciding that's it, probably not even giving a reason or even showing any type of behaviors to say that, you know what, this is where my thoughts are, this isn't working for them or anything like that. They didn't probably talk about that or say anything, and he was probably on the other hand thinking that everything's okay, when actually it wasn't for his partner. But then there's no way that then your partner can fix whatever's going on if they don't have that open communication with each other. So as we know, Luke gets matched with Jay. All right, and then it pans over to Laura, and as I said, Laura's high maintenance, and she says that she is a lot for anyone to handle, but she also has been married before, and she was only married, I think she said, for 9 months. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I think she said she was married for 9 months, but she was dating the person for quite a while. But then I think, as she was explaining, she was saying that things were okay well before COVID, and then COVID hit, And then that's where the issues began for some people, because COVID hit and you literally had to be at home day in, day out with this person that you've just married. With this person that, okay, you would, when you were dating, you probably going here, there and everywhere and having nice lunches, having nice dinners, going to parties, doing X, Y and Z, hanging out as at each other's spaces as and when. But then when you got married and then you had to be literally in that person's space 24/7, that's probably when the cracks start to show. So she was basically saying that she would walk into one room he was in and he would clearly walk out, so things didn't work out for them. Now, the way in which she's talking is she wants a Chelsea boy. She wants someone who's a little bit rough but has the posh accent, is able to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, but this is the type of person you go for. This is probably the type of person you actually married and it didn't work out, but yet you're still going to be hankering on the fact that that's the type of person you still want to go for. I would say cut that shit off and literally get to know somebody who's completely opposite to you. And the experts picked Arthur, who is in every way, shape and form completely opposite to Laura. Completely opposite to Laura. Background, everything, the lot, completely opposite to Laura. And I was like, I don't know how she's going to take this man. Like, seriously, as I said, Laura did not endear herself to me because her attitude just stank. Like, it was terrible. To high heaven smelt. Especially when you do see her and Arthur get married. Now, the bit that Arthur got wrong, let me just get into this. The bit that Arthur got wrong, was when he read his vows and he said he got them off the internet. Now, he was sitting there with his brother and his very close friend, and he read them vows out, and at the end of there, this dude said, I love you. Now, them two are held responsible too as to what happens to Arthur at the end of that, because them two should have told him there's no way in hell that you can read that out to this woman that you're just meeting. There's no way in hell. We're not going to let you do it. You're going to sit here, literally get a pen off one of the production staff, whoever you have to get the pen from, and sit down there and pen your vows. We will help you pen your vows. Why would you let your boy walk into his wedding and say them vows? That, oh my Lord, I had secondhand embarrassment from that, like proper secondhand embarrassment for that. I was like, Arthur, why? And then when he heard her vows, then he looked at his lads. Then he looked at, and you would have thought, just think something off your dome from now. Think something off your dome from now. Please don't read what's on that paper. Even if you read the first bit, don't say I love you. Don't say I love you. Say something else. And he the way he said it and the way he put it across was so awkward. Like, it was hella, it was awkward. It was awkward. We can't lie on that. It was awkward. And then it was like, a second thought, it was like, I love you. And even the bridesmaids were like, what? Huh? Like, yeah, I was like, no, that you did not endear yourself to her. But then also, she had high expectations when it came to being matched up and getting Arthur and being quite disappointed. So she had high expectations herself, which she shouldn't have done. To be fair, yes, you can have some expectations going into this experiment and thinking, well, who are you going to be paired with? Because at the end of the day, it's being arranged for you to be married to someone. Without seeing them, without speaking to them, without having that conversation. It's not going to be to someone that you would normally go for, because if they were going to pick someone that you would normally go for, then what would be the point of the show? What would well and truly be the point of the show? Because you wouldn't work at it, because you'd already have your expectations sealed at the end of the day. But Arthur's a really nice guy. Arthur is a really nice guy. So I hope she does give him the time of day and actually get to learn who Arthur is. Because you see, when the speeches are going on, that Arthur's friend actually gets up and speaks about him and explains the background as to why he became a tennis coach. Because I'm telling you, Laura was acting like a prize snob. I'm sorry, she was acting like a prize snob. Even with her vows, they were just all about what he could do for her. The jokes that she made, I didn't even think were jokes. I thought, who's laughing at that? Is she being serious, or is she actually just doing tongue-in-cheek when she's saying that? Because I thought she was being serious. I didn't realise until after she spoke that she said she's doing some jokes. And I was like, well, where were the jokes? Like, for real? Because I weren't laughing in terms of what she said. I weren't laughing. But yeah, she got to actually hear why he got to where he was. And it wasn't until after, like, that sort of thing, they had their conversation, but then it got ruined because Arthur being Arthur, he's got no filter. He went and sat down, introduced himself to the bridesmaids and the other people, and then basically told them that he got his vows off the internet because he didn't know what else to do, so he panicked and did it off the internet. I was just like, dude, why would you do that when you know that they're going to go back and tell her? You should have just told her that first and foremost at the end of the day. So then let me pan to Jay and Luke's wedding, and that went off without a hitch. What I would notice, though, is the way that they strategically were hiding Jay's arm. And I think it was more so to get a reaction from him in regards to what's going to happen. But he had already spotted as she come down the aisle that she was missing an arm, and as he said in his VC, it didn't faze him in the slightest. It did not faze him in the slightest. And then as time goes on, he explains to her as well that, you know, his dad having slapping my hair across my face, his dad having a disability as well, so her having no arm didn't faze him in the slightest. And when he had that chat, because when they went to the reception, Jay was still insecure. Like, they were getting on like a house on fire, like making each other laugh. They were relaxed. They were complete opposite to Laura and Arthur. Let's just put it that way. Complete opposite to Laura and Arthur. But they were relaxed, but still Jay had that niggling centre of doubt that Luke did not fancy her. This man fancied her, fancied the bones off her, to be honest with you. You could see it in every time that he looked at her, and every time he spoke to her, you could see it. So the sister went and had her talk with him to find out point blank whether he fancied her sister. So she was holding nothing back. She spoke to him and he told her that, yes, I do. I find her very attractive. He says, they picked her just for me. Everything he'd asked the experts for, they got it right in Jay. So the sister relayed that back to her, and she was quite happy with that. And then it was when she got up to sing, because Jay can carry a tune in a bucket. Jay can carry a tune in a bucket. That girl can sing. She can sing. And when she got up to sing, he literally did not take his eyes off her. So you people, you need to get a man like Luke who looks at Jay the way he does. That's what you need to do. Get a man like Luke who looks at Jay the way he does, because he didn't even blink. He couldn't stop staring at her when she was singing. Couldn't stop staring at her. And that's where I'm going to leave it for this video, and I will be back in quick succession with episode 2. So don't go anywhere. As I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so when you know I am back on and doing videos. And I will see you all again soon. Peace out.